Hi, in this video we are going to look at some add-ins for O365. This one was a little bit, this activity was a little bit disappointing because I wanted to do my add-ins into my Outlook account for my job, which I saw a lot of good productivity tools for email, but unfortunately, since I don't own that account, I did not have administrative rights and I could not add add-ins into my Outlook email. So that, again, was disappointing. So instead, I went into my personal O365 account and added some to Word that could also, some of them could be used in PowerPoint as well. So the first one we'll look at is Pixabay Images. And these are going to be free Creative Commons images that you can use in a paper, in a PowerPoint, something of that nature. So all I had to do was, wherever I wanted in my presentation or assignment or paper to add an image, I just went to Insert, and then all the way to the right, after I put the add-in in, I have my images from Pixabay, which brought up this page, Search Yellow Flowers. I think that one's pretty, so I inserted it here. And so that was pretty easy. And it gives you another option for adding images, which could be useful if you're making a presentation that was going to be published somewhere. The next one we'll look at is Copy Leaks. It's a plagiarism checker. And so this could be useful for students to help with their writing. It could also be useful for teachers if they wanted to cut and paste some student text, and instead of having to log in to turn it in and submit a report and wait for that report to turn around, they could use this, or in my case, we have Turnitin tied to our Dropbox items, but we don't have Turnitin on our discussion board. Or do we have Turnitin in our essay test? And sometimes you'll read a discussion post by a student or an essay by a student that doesn't sound anything else like the writing that they had been submitting previously in the semester. The font may be different from the text font that normally comes when you type into those boxes. So it's just a little fishy. So you could cut and paste that information into Word if you have this add-in, and then you can go in and you can check that student's work. And so this example I took off the internet from a site called 123helpme.com. It's about Sigmund Freud. And so what I'm going to do is, now that I have it in here, I'm going to highlight it, and then I would go to References, Copy Leaks, which I've already opened that. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Scan. And I'm going to say Selected Text if there's just, a piece I want to look at, or entire document. And since I've highlighted it, we'll just put Selective Text. And so it's scanning. And this might take a minute or so. I have a lot of tabs open. You could also do this if you're opening a student's paper in the Dropbox and you just wanted to cut and paste a piece of that paper, not the whole report. But it's still scanning, but you can see already it's found the 123helpme.com, which is exactly where I got this information from. And it shows some other places where there's similar words or similar works, but this one was the exact one that I took it from for this example. So that's another way you could check student originality. The last one is an add-in called Docusign. And I've used this on the other end where for my independent contracting job, I'll get contracts and they'll use Docusign to where I agree to a certain amount of work for a certain pay. And so I decided I'd put it in here and see what it was like on this end. So after I add the add-in, I just go up to Docusign. And this is useful, say if you're creating an official document, like for my example, it's used for work contracts. So I'll get a contract saying, if you write this number of questions, I will give you X amount of money. And I have to sign that agreeing. And once I use the Docusign, it's a binding agreement. And so I can sign like that by clicking Sign Document. It's pulling it up. Everything's super slow because I have a lot of tabs open on the computer. I can go in here and add my signature, boom, or I can go and request signatures here if I was going to send a document to someone and I wanted a signature. I guess my window has to be reopened. Oh, it opened on my other screen, so I'll pull that over here. And so it's going to give me the option to, again, go back and add a place for a signature. So where this could be useful in education, perhaps you are sending out an electronic syllabus and you want the parents to sign it electronically, you could use Docusign for that. So here are a couple of add-ins for O365 that could be useful in teaching and communication.